I work as a cybersecurity analyst for a large office company in my town. I had just started off my first job in the field, so of course I had to work the shift that nobody else wanted to. Working overnight wasn't as terrible as I thought, though it was actually pretty peaceful. My job mainly consisted of looking through log files to make sure nothing sketchy happened while the rest of the crew was sleeping. This meant that I was always pretty much alone in the office building for several hours. I'd fall asleep pretty often as staring at the screen for hours on the end. In the middle of the night was hard on my eyes, and with nobody there to keep me company, staying awake wasn't very easy. I started setting soft alarms on my phone to go off every hour just to make sure that I didn't sleep through my entire shift. I had been working this job for about 4 months when this happened, and I actually still work it there now. It was a regular night, and my co-worker just had finished his shift at the 12 o'clock and left the building. A couple minutes later, I got up and started the coffee machine, and then I walked down the main hallway to the general check for anyone still in the building. This was my regular routine. Just to make myself more comfortable, I sat back down at my desk and took my phone, turned on the alarms, and then I continued on with my work. It was about 20 minutes later when I realized I never heard the coffee machine beep that it was done, and I went to check on it. I walked down the hall to the small coffee desk and saw that there was no coffee in the pot, and then I saw that the entire coffee machine was turned off. I thought it was weird, but that's about it, and I just turned it back on and went back to my desk. As soon as I sat down, I noticed my phone wasn't where I had left it on desk. I patted down my pockets and ran back to the coffee desk, but it wasn't there either. I played it back in my memory, and I knew for sure that I had placed it right on my desk, right next to my keyboard. I started to get really freaked out and looked around frantically. The way my desk was set up, it was right in the middle of the large room with the other desks and computers. I felt like I was being watched as I stood there in the middle, knowing that someone else had to be in there with me. Nervously, I called out in the shaky voice to my friends, really hoping that it was just him playing some dumb prank on me. I waited for a few seconds, but there was no reply. As I stood by my desk, another few seconds went by before I heard a soft shuffling coming from behind the desk in the far corner. Almost immediately after, my phone alarm rang from the opposite corner of the room. My first thought was that there were probably two unknown strangers in the room with me, and I instantly started running for the door out of the building. I didn't hear any footsteps behind me as I made it out, but I didn't take any chance. I ran across the street to a neighboring gas station, and I called 911 with their phone to report the unknown people in our office building. The police arrived quicker than I thought and searched the building. They brought out a man after only a few minutes, though I didn't recognize him at all. They also retrieved my phone, which they found behind some boxes in the corner of the office. He was also found with a small knife in his pocket. The next day, we got a lot more information about what really took place. Apparently, the man was an old employee who had been fired recently before I started working there. The man told the police he was trying to scare me in order to get me to leave the building so that he could take back his company laptop. Apparently, he had information that he wanted for me. At least those were his claims. It all seems really weird to me, and I'm not sure if Evan trusted his reasoning to breaking in, but my co-workers did say that they remembered the guy and he was definitely a little bit strange. I'm glad I got out of there when I did through, because I'm not sure what would have happened if his plan didn't work, and I chose to stay in the building.